strength and security among the vast majority of working people in this country. And if you look at that problem, there are a set of solutions that have to do with more government spending, that have to do with stronger labor unions, higher wages, that have to allow for a certain amount of inflation. In other words, the progressive economic agenda. If you reshape the problem, that the problem we are in today, and the problem we are in across the globe, is that the problem is high government deficits. There's an entirely different problem at the state level and at the federal level. And if you look at the problem that way, the solution is lower wages, cutting public benefits, destroying public unions. So we are in a moment where it feels like we have to ensure that the real crisis is the crisis of the day. How is the American labor union movement, which is implicated in both of those big economic fights, responding not only for its workers and its members, but for the entire broad working and middle class?
Well, that's pretty loud. First of all, I'd just point out that every country in Europe that embraced austerity and the deficit solution, all 11 of them had an election and all 11 of them lost. It didn't matter whether they came from the left, the right, or the center, they all lost. And there'll be a few more that have embraced austerity that'll lose as well. I guess I'd start off by saying this. Nothing will change unless we make a change. And the second thing I would say is, none of us are big enough to do it alone. So we really do have to build a movement of the 99% that is capable of coming together, forcing a public debate on our territory, hopefully forcing the president to have that same debate with us so that he leads that debate and we go forward. Now, at the AFL-CIO, let me tell you some of the things that we're doing to try to make that happen. We're reaching out to community partners. And in the past, we weren't really the best partners in the world. The labor movement's idea of a partnership was when we had a problem, everybody comes and helps us solve it, and after the problem's solved, you get to go your merry way. Well, we're changing that. And we also used to say, here's our solution, come and join our solution. And we're trying to change that. So what we've done, we've convened a group of all the progressive groups out there, and we're talking about an economic agenda that will work for all of us. We will release it in mid-July. It was developed by all the progressive groups, all of us working together, so it will be our agenda. We'll use it as a test for candidates who want our support. If they support that economic agenda, then we will support them. If they don't, we'll wish them well and send them packing empty-handed because they really aren't friends to us at all. The other thing that we've done is we've changed the way that we're doing politics right now. It used to be that we thought about elections in a one cycle. Now we look at elections in 3 cycles, 2012, 14, and 16, so that we can strategize over a long period of time. The other thing that we've done is change our system from a part-time system to a full-time system. We used to start 9 months before the election, build up our structure, have an election day, and then while we were celebrating election night, the people that tried to unelect the candidate that we supported are plotting and scheming somewhere else to take them, how to co-opt them. And before long, they had amnesia and they were with them and not with us. So now we'll go to a full-time program that'll be in place. So the day after the election, just like in Wisconsin, we'll be looking to build and bring more partners in, to expand, to mobilize, to educate, and we'll be able to move from electoral politics to advocacy, legislative advocacy, and to accountability pretty seamlessly and continue to grow in the process. Building that movement and staying together on the economic message is the best thing that we can do. And quite frankly, when our friends, whether they're in the White House, the Senate, or the House, or the State House or anywhere else, when they get wayward somewhere, it'll be up to us to come back on the ground, hold them accountable, and make them come back to the main things that they ought to be doing, and that's creating jobs, creating more jobs, and creating more jobs yet, and creating an economy that really works for everybody and not just the 1% who have done so well over the past couple of decades.
Rich talked about creating a movement, and one of, I think, the most intractable, difficult problems for the progressive economic movement is that there is a core inequality that falls from political inequality to economic inequality and then wraps back around again. So that the tens of millions of Americans who are most economically dispossessed are often the ones who are the least likely to vote, the least likely to contribute, the least likely to do other forms of political accountability and civic engagement. So that is one of the core problems that we face in trying to create a movement, not just for the 99%, but of the 99%. And you are doing an incredible thing. I just have to say, Demos just recently honored Ai-jen as with the Transforming America Award because we are in awe of what she's doing. So I'm not exactly an impartial moderator on this, but you are doing an incredible thing to bring some of the most dispossessed and excluded workers in our economy into organizing, into political activism, and into transforming their own workplace and also transforming our economy at large. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, the challenges you faced, and the sort of potential for the broader economy?
Can you hear me? Yeah. All right. Good morning.